Reekin Havoc.
Reekin Havoc.
News, interviews, and more.
We just reek of Huntsville Havoc hockey.
Welcome to Reekin Havoc Live, direct from Dostal Beer House on South Parkway in Huntsville. Don't go away. Reekin Havoc Live is next.
The Reekin Havoc podcast.
There's always something fresh pouring at Dostal Beer House in Huntsville. Our taproom's curated draft list spans everything from local favorites to at least 3 authentic German imports at all times. Our bottle shop features a massive collection of over 450 craft beverages, as well as gluten-free and non-alcoholic treats. Check out the coffee house for a fresh breakfast, midday meal, or family dinner. Dostal Beer House, 7914 South Parkway in Huntsville. Open 7 days a week. Dostal Beer House, the official away watch party spot for the Huntsville Havoc.
A lot of businesses talk about putting the customer first, but at Boaz Florist, it's really true. The friendly team at Boaz Florist takes the time to understand your needs to ensure a smooth, personalized experience start to finish, from birthdays and anniversaries to weddings or sympathy arrangements. Boaz Florist is family-owned and is passionate about what they do. Call 256-593-7673. Visit them online at boazflorist.net or come see them at 10890 Highway 168. Boaz Florist.
Weicker Realtors, the Space Place, has been making dreams come true since 1999, and it's because of agents like Corey Gerhold. Whether buying or selling, Corey will be with you every step of the way, from face-off to closing. See his listings at WeichertSpacePlace.com. Give him a call at 256-469-5396, or see him at 6767 Old Madison Pike, Suite 135 in Huntsville. Serving all of North Alabama, Corey Gerhold with Weichert Realtors, the Space Place.
One of the worst feelings you can have is that of being stranded. Well, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair makes that a thing of the past, with 24/7 towing services and roadside assistance in the northern Alabama and southern Tennessee areas. But that's not all. They also offer truck and trailer repair, mobile welding, brake service and repair, new and used tires, and other major and minor repairs. Their name says it all, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. For 24/7 response, call 497-8234. That's 497-8234. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair.
This is Kevin Weaver of Cali, and you're listening to the Reekin Havoc podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, for a Reekin Havoc podcast live edition. We're here recording live from the Dostal Beer House. Can you not hear Catherine? Catherine can't hear. We're all here. We're all here for another wonderful week of podcast fun. I'm Laura Pitts, and I've got Catherine Wistoff with me and our producer extraordinaire, Tim Lambert, over here. Well, we're super excited to be back for another episode, and we're always super thankful for Chad and the Dostal Beer House for letting us come set up shop for about an hour or so and chat about all things Huntsville Havoc hockey. Catherine, it's been a couple of weeks, months, years, it feels like, since we've actually got to sit down. How has life been for you?
Boring.
Boring? You said you had like a fun
I'm just kidding.
thing you were doing. You did not know?
A lot of time, actually doing other things. I'm finishing up a pottery class. I went to the beach some.
Fun.
As I said earlier, I stared at the wall a lot.
Yeah.
So.
But when these signings and all this information started coming out, I'm pretty sure it kind of like lifted your spirits a little.
Yeah, for sure. It was like, okay, the countdown is going down officially.
Yeah, it was like one day I turned on social media, I got up, and I was like, what? We've got signings happening from other teams, and there's lots of chatter and stuff. I was like, this is happening. Like, I'm waiting all this time. It's happening really fast. Tim, what have you been up to lately?
Well, that's kind of what I was doing. I've been watching social media, but me, myself, in my other life, I'm getting ready for high school football, so I've got a lot of things going on.
Lots of fun stuff. Not
like a coach does, but, you know.
Well, funny thing. So so this was a funny thing that happened to me last week. I was at an AI conference in Auburn. And it was in Auburn, too. Don't get me started. Jacob would laugh at that because Jacob Murphy knows how much I dislike Auburn football, and he's like a huge Auburn football fan. But I was at an AI conference, and so I'm at this event there, And
was anybody real there?
No, they were all real. We were all talking about AI. It was really, I live in really weird worlds in my other career, my library professor job, and one of those is talking about AI. I don't know how I did it. Don't ask me. It's a really weird thing. But I had the opportunity to go down there and speak at a conference, and so I'm at this meeting, and this guy is like chatting up, and I walk by, and he says, do you know, to another person, do you know how many sports have hat tricks? Well, of course, the word hat trick stopped me, and I was like, what? Are we talking hockey, or was this going to actually be something I'm enjoying right now where I'm at? And so I was going to talk to you guys. No, you can't look it up.
I'm not.
Can't look it up.
I promise
soccer,
I'm not.
right?
How many other sports have hat tricks?
Maybe soccer and
2 other sports.
And
3 sports in total.
You think there's 3?
About fishing?
no. Lacrosse. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Is that what you think?
I have no idea the sports that.
I just thought it was so funny because I was standing around these people and they were saying cricket, soccer, lacrosse, like all those things. And the guy kept saying, there's one more. I just know there is. And I stood there and they could not figure out what it was. And I was like, it's hockey. And they looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, hockey, you throw the hat down. They asked me, what do you mean they throw hats down? And I was like, where have these people been? They need the Mobile team to show up soon, so they have a ice hockey team down there. But it was really funny listening to these people talk about the hat trick thing. Question, though, that I have is, where did that term originate?
I was wondering the same
Wait,
thing.
I used to know the answer to this. I don't now.
You guys know? Our guest? Nobody knows? Cricket. It started from cricket. I don't know why they didn't throw hats, but cricket, the game of cricket's where the original term for hat tricks
Google
started.
that.
Is it
Yeah.
cricket out of Asia?
I think so. I'm not sure. But it was just interesting. Of all the weird party tricks, right, that I had in this moment at this place was they couldn't figure out what the other sport was that has a hat trick.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was pretty funny.
I thought somebody had already said
No,
hockey.
nobody knew. They were like, they could not figure out what it was. And I was like, I randomly know the answer to this, and I'm really concerned why none of you know the answer to it. So it was just a lot of fun.
Some fans bought the guy a new hat when he did the 3 whatever.
In cricket?
Yeah.
And that's how it happened. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what year was that?
1858.
Okay. I figured it had to be in
like-
the 19th century or something.
When you were born, right, Tim?
Little before.
Well, I just thought that was funny because, I had one random party trick at that event. Like, I knew that. Anyway, it was kind of funny, and I wanted really badly to text you about that, and I was like, nope, we're going to have something to talk about when we intro this thing, and I'm going to ask them if they know about that. So, so we are super excited tonight. We have, I call it the Coaches Show, like Hey Coach edition, but Havoc hockey. We've got both coaches. We've got Stu and Tyler here. They're going to come on shortly, and we're going to chat with them about what they've been up to and getting prepared for the next season, and may even get them to give us some opinions on some of the signings that we've seen come through on social media lately, and also some of these new rules that are happening. Plus, those new teams that are showing up. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with Stu and Ty to chat a lot about what's going on in the Havoc coaching world. You're listening to the Reekin Havoc podcast here at the Dostal Beer House.
The Reekin Havoc podcast.
Has nature taken over your property? Call Clear Cut Land Services. Whether you need brush and small tree clearing, fence line cleanup, gravel driveway repair, or land prepared for future development, Clear Cut has you covered. From small residential lots to large rural tracts, they proudly serve landowners, homeowners, farmers, and real estate professionals across North Alabama and Southern Tennessee. Get your property looking its best with dependable professional service. Call 256-617-5422 or visit clearcutlandcom.net. Clear Cut Land Services, clearing the way for a better tomorrow.
In June of 2005, our twin girls were delivered, Melissa and Catherine, and they were born 14 weeks early.
Amy and Chris George talk about the Melissa George Neonatal Memorial Fund.
They both weighed less than 2 pounds, and Catherine was 115 and Melissa was 1'9". Melissa lived for a couple of hours, but all of the medical technology in the world just could not have saved her, and she passed away while she was in the NICU. Chris realized pretty early that God had given us a platform that we could use to try to help people. So Chris and I started the Melissa George Neonatal Memorial Fund at Huntsville Hospital.
To know that Melissa's name is living on, her legacy continues, and I think that was very important to Amy and I, is why the fund is named after her. Because for 7 weeks, Melissa fought so that Aunt Catherine would have a chance to live. And I think that we wouldn't be doing her name any justice if we didn't carry on, because we know we wanted to honor her and honor her legacy. And the community, Huntsville Havoc, the community in Huntsville itself, they've rallied around that. And it's been a wonderful support system for us. And I think for a lot of families too, when they see total strangers that are giving.
We're online at HuntsvilleHospitalFoundation.org. Click on the Melissa George Neonatal Memorial Fund and you can give that way.
There's no donation that's too small, and every dollar is just as important as the next one. And if you're giving, then we understand you're giving because you care. And that's what's important, is that we've learned over the years that people give because they care.
And you can volunteer. If you're interested in that, you can click on the volunteer tab to fill out an application. We are grateful for any type of support because we know that once we pull those dollars together, we can do big things.
For more information on the Melissa George Neonatal Memorial Fund, visit HuntsvilleHospitalFoundation.org.
Let's go in the slot.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Reekin Havoc podcast. We're live recording here at the Dostal Beer House in South Huntsville. And tonight, we're excited to be joined for this episode for the Coaches Show. We've got Stu Stefan and Tyler Piacentini joining us to chat about all things coaching life and all that fun stuff. How are you guys been? What's up?
Yeah, I've been pretty good. Just kind of summertime, a little bit of downtime for us. So, obviously not a lot going on. Same time trying to, build a team for next year too. So kind of, got, some time away, but at the same time still at work too, trying to build a team.
Yeah. What about you, Tyler?
Yeah, same thing. It's been busy this summer. Been able to get back home quite a bit, so yeah, it's been good but busy, but it's always good to get back. And then, like Stu said, just recruiting, get ready for next year.
So before we talk hockey life, what have you guys gotten to do fun this summer? Like, we always see you guys on the bench in your ties and you're in game mode. What is life like when you guys get to not be in game mode and get to just kind of just have fun? What have y'all been doing?
Actually, this summer haven't really done a lot. We've kind of, me and my wife there, just been a lot more just calm, I guess, just being around the house a little bit. We did go back home, visit my family for, I think just under 2 weeks or something like that. So visited family and friends back home. So that was nice. Obviously, getting back there, a little bit nicer weather too, not as hot. So that part's always nice. And then just, when I'm down here, it's just trying to get out golfing as much as possible. Really enjoy getting out on the golf course, so doing that. And then, I don't know, I like doing stuff around the house too. So I've been doing a lot of gardening and, fixing up some stuff around the house and stuff like that.
Okay, so I have two questions. One, what's your go-to golf course around the area?
Yeah, so we have a few deals just with the team. So, we got the Huntsville Country Club, got Cherokee Ridge down, just down the Parkway, and then Burning Tree out kind of Priceville there, out Decatur way there too. So kind of the three courses we probably play the most.
And gardening, I wouldn't take you for a gardener. Like, we're talking like outside in the heat gardening, getting the tomatoes and the squash to grow. Is that the kind of gardening we're talking about here?
I just like the good curb appeal around my house. So
I got you. So the maintenance part, the flowers, the landscaping part of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Gotcha.
So been doing a lot of that this summer, so kind of let it go the last couple of years. So we thought we'd get back to it and kind of get everything looking.
Well, I hope you did it earlier in the summer and not now.
Yeah, I haven't really done much lately, honestly. A lot of it was early on in the summer.
It's death outside. It's too hot. What about you, Tyler? I feel like I've seen your wife and your photos on Facebook, and y'all just been having a fun time traveling and everything.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been busy. I've had some weddings this summer, so hopefully it's maybe the last summer with weddings. They're all fun, but yeah, it's been traveling quite a bit. Been back in Boston a few times, and then some weddings and seeing some buddies and stuff. So it's been good. And then obviously coming back here, it's pretty hot out. So
what is the weather like in Boston this time of year? Is it also miserably hot, or is it not like this?
It's beautiful. It's a really good time of year to go.
There's no humidity.
It's really nice. Not like this, no. I mean, it's the same thing where Stu's from too. It's nice right now, and it's a relief. Actually, when I was up there last week, it was actually pretty hot. It was like 90, but it won't stay like that much. The humidity is not like what it is here.
Yeah.
So
that's what I started to say.
Yeah, so it's been good though. It's been busy, but it's always good. Especially in the off season to be able to get home and see some family and see friends, and it's always a good time because obviously when the season starts, it's full throttle for us. So it's nice to be able to get away for a little bit.
So when you guys go home or go back home, is there like a place or something that you try to make sure you go back home and get to experience? Maybe it's a bar, maybe it's a place to eat. Is there like some place, or is there like a place back home you didn't get to go this time and you like really wish you could go back and enjoy?
No, not for me. I mean, I go home and I like to golf too, right? I got some buddies that golf, so I get out golfing with them. So I did that. We got rained out one day, so I got out twice with some of my
where is
friends.
Home again?
Southern Ontario. Okay. So, and then every time I go with my wife, she absolutely loves Toronto, big city. I don't know why she likes that, but so we always got to go to Toronto. So, we went in and did that for a day too. Just I don't like to drive in. There's so much traffic and stuff. Yeah. It's like Toronto's probably compared to like Atlanta, driving through there. It's nuts all the time.
It is a lot.
Doesn't matter when. That's how Toronto is. So that's the part that frustrates me, but she likes it. So we always spend like kind of a day in Toronto too.
When I drove into Toronto that one time, I was prepared because I've driven in Atlanta before, and that was the only reason I drove, and my husband did not.
I cannot imagine Drew driving in somewhere like Atlanta.
No, we were in Portland, Oregon one time, and he went down the wrong way, down the road. And I was like, let me drive in the big city. There's a reason I'm a city girl.
I hear driving in Boston is an adventure, too.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, kind of growing up around the area, I'm pretty familiar with it. But, when my wife goes up there, I'm like, are you sure you want to drive? It's I mean, for me, when I go back, it's kind of like Stu. My wife, she always wants to go to like the North End in Boston. They got really good Italian food, so I can't complain with that. The food's really good, but the spot every time we go, that's that's where she wants to go. So, but for me, like I love the city. I love Boston, so I don't hate it when she says she wants to go in there and do some touristy stuff. So
sounds good to me.
So with the amount of time that you guys have lived down here, do you think that you have or will ever get used to like the heat? Because I've heard like my parents they've been to the Grand Canyon, and they're like huge difference when it's 95. Mm-hmm. Do you think you've gotten used to the humidity, or is it every time it's like, Jesus Christ, could this get any worse?
I mean, I have... Like,
look at his face, though, as he's trying to answer.
It's still hot.
Yeah, like I haven't. Like I am a lot more used to it, but like there's some days I just walk outside and I'm just like, or like, we're at work, so we're in the VBC, so, and then you walk out and I'm like, sometimes I love to go outside, do some yard work, and I'm just like, I walk outside after being inside all day, I'm like, I'm not going out there, so I just end up like, doing stuff, inside the house or whatever, do something, but there's still some days where it's, I'm just like, no, this is too much heat and humidity.
Yeah. You don't ever get used to it. You just kind of have to.
Well, if you think this is bad, do not be in New Orleans right now.
Yeah.
Well, if I can give you any advice, don't ever go to New Orleans in the summer. That's the stupidest thing in the world. It's You think this humidity is terrible?
I went to New Orleans in December, and I was like, why is it hot?
They always put the American Library Association's national conference every 3 years is in New Orleans. It is the most miserable experience. I mean, it's a good conference, but humidity? Nope.
See, I get lucky. Mine's not the same, like, obviously, VBC. I work in a hospital, though, so the AC stays on, like, 67, 68. Man. And then I go outside when I get off, I'm like, this sucks. Just the walk to my car.
It sucks.
God.
So funny. I guess let's transition a little and chat a little. Something?
Yeah, well, I was going to ask Stu, being the gardener that he is.
I wanted to call him Farmer Stu. I was getting excited thinking he was growing things.
Well, is there a favorite crop that you've got?
No, well, like actually, this year we just focused really on just like the flower beds, like I said, or just like just making them look nice and good, like curb appeal. But that is something we said we want to maybe do some actual like gardens next year and grow some veggies and maybe some blueberries, strawberries, things like that.
So,
okay.
That might be a next summer thing.
Yeah.
Blackberries grow wild here. Yeah. So they're very good.
Yeah. Get you a farmer's almanac if you don't have one. Live and die by it. It tells you when to plant. You plant your beans on Good Friday. Whenever Good Friday is, you plant your beans. It's the truth, though. Am I wrong? Or do you just not come from a gardening family?
Well, I mean, my wife gardens, and my mom used to drag me into the garden, but I was not.
Raised beds are the way to go. If you're going to do it.
She tried to. Yeah, my wife.
Raised beds are the way to go.
Yeah.
I come from a big gardening family. We don't do that.
My parents got old and they were like, we're tired of walking through this garden. My dad made raised beds, changed everything. We had more tomatoes and cucumbers that year than anything under the sun. Now they don't do it because it's too hot. So, it's life.
Yeah, we'll see.
You might have just talked him out of it.
I may have. I don't know. I hope not. It's not terrible, but it's hot. Do it early. So let's transition and chat Havoc hockey stuff. You guys, I know, have had some off time, but like, what is coaching life like in the summer when you're trying to, we've put the past season behind us. We have to look forward to the next season. We've got to rebuild the team in a way because we've got people leaving, people coming. What are you guys? What are you focused on? What are you doing? How are you also splitting that focus of team building and getting ready and all those other things?
Yeah, our main focus is just, finding players for next year. I think we got a decent group coming back, but at the same time, it's, not everyone. So it's finding new players. And, we spend a lot of times on our phone during the summer, too, just talking to lots of players, talking to coaches, talking to former teammates of these guys. We do a lot of homework on every single player that we talk to. And, I don't even know how many players we end up talking to every summer, but, we probably only end up signing 8 to 10 of them. And we've probably talked to, closer to, it might even be 100 this summer. You know what I mean? You end up talking to so many. Some guys go to Europe. Some just don't even end up playing. Some sign in other teams in our league, some in the East Coast. So, it's a lot of time on your phone and doing a lot of homework and research on, every single player that we talk to. So that's kind of the biggest thing that, we focus on in the summer is just trying to find the right players that we think will, fit into our group and making sure they're, good people, off the ice as well and will fit into our locker room and into our culture.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of been like a standard. I mean, even when you were a player, well, both of you were, but like I remember talking to you right when you left, you were talking about that kind of standard that was kind of held in the locker room when you had new guys come on. I remember Glenn also talking about that. Tyler, how do you guys, when you're talking to these people, have you met them? Have you just been like a FaceTime call? Like, how are you getting a feel for who they are when you've not really got to sit down one-on-one and chat with them?
Well, like Stu said, I mean, first off, we do, a lot of research and homework in the summer. If we're going to talk to a guy and, if we're thinking about signing him, we're going to do a lot of, homework to, see where he's played, maybe reach out to a past coach, or maybe we might know a player that played with him that was a teammate to see the type of guy that he is. Because obviously, on the ice is one thing, but making sure we're bringing in good people is another thing. So it's kind of seeing, was he a leader where he was before? So that's a big thing with us is just making sure. And then as far as it goes with us, it's It's sorry.
No,
it's, we'll always set up a phone call with them. So, we'll have a nice, it might be 20, 30-minute conversation depending on the guy, and just try to get to know him a little bit, know his background, his about himself, his family, his playing career, and then, just kind of ask him a few questions to try to get to know him.
Sounds like a full-fledged job interview.
Well,
it is.
Yeah.
But I'm just laughing saying that, like when you're describing that. Do you have any, are there things that you guys have encountered that you're like, red flag? Like, what are things with people? Like, what are those? Like, what are the things that stand out when you're like listening and talking to someone that's like, this isn't going to work?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, one of the questions we ask every guy is like, how was your experience with your last team? If they were in college. And if a guy starts going off right away, is like, the coach didn't like me, and he just starts making all excuses, like, that's right away, that's kind of a red flag for us. We're like, okay, this kid, if this place wasn't good and this place wasn't good, like, okay, he's going to come here and he's just going to find excuses to, find out or like make it, okay, this is a bad place too. So, it's kind of a red flag. One kid I talked to this summer and then talked to his coach afterwards, and, the coach is like, yeah, he told me to F off at one point. So I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm not bringing this kid in. So, he got into it with his coach and a bit of an argument. So I was like, okay, so, basically just scratch that kid off our list and move on to the next one, So, yeah, there's definitely, there's some red flags for sure. Every guy has them. And then there's other guys, like most of the time, I feel like most guys we talk to, though, we're like, get off the phone, like, man, that kid was awesome to talk to, So there's more, I'd say there's way more positives than there are the negatives, You just get those, maybe 5 to 10 every summer that are kind of like, let's just stay away from him.
Have you guys seen a shift generationally with the types of young guys that are coming up with this generation? And I say that because I'm a teacher, so I deal with students all day long that have certain work ethics and certain attitudes about things, and some of it I take for them being lazy, and then other times I think it's generational. Like, things have shifted and shaped that. Do you see that at all with some of the guys that come through?
I don't know. We do. For sure.
You can be honest.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I hear this in so many circles that we have these generational kids coming up, and these that are becoming adults that are.
Yeah, it's definitely
different.
It's different for sure, and it's definitely changing. The one thing is like it's not laziness or anything like that. These kids, like, they work hard, but it's definitely some of the stuff. I feel like maybe back in the day you could be, maybe harder on guys or a little like that, and nowadays it's a little different, probably just the way they're growing up. And another thing too is, obviously video games are pretty popular now. So I think back, like when we played and before that, it's like I felt like a lot of guys were hanging out outside of the rink a lot more.
Like brotherhood.
Phones weren't as big of a distraction as it is now, or video games or whatever it is. So that's it's definitely changed a little bit, but it's everywhere too. But it's just making sure like our guys do a great job making sure the guys are getting together and doing things away from the rink. So it's just making sure that guys are continuing to do that as well. But it's definitely it's definitely changed for sure. But it's everywhere though.
Yeah,
it's not just in hockey or in sports. You could see it.
I deal with
everywhere.
it every day with my students. So that's why I was wondering, like, what kind of frustrations do you guys have as coaches sometimes when you get some of these young guys that are coming in? And that's interesting too. You would have spent more time outside, hanging out and doing more things, and then you have now distractions. Everything is a distraction.
I just think like growing up, it'd be like you'd ride your bike somewhere, and my mom would be like, "Oh, just make sure you're home." Whatever, for dinner or before dark. And nowadays, like, I don't know if kids do that. It's just,
they don't.
That has nothing to do with hockey, but it's, right. it's something as simple as that. So it's definitely, it's definitely changed.
Interesting.
Well, does that seem like it affects their, I don't know if ability is the word. I guess they always have the ability, but they're
social skills, is that the word?
Well, no.
Okay.
If they're,
I was about to say,
if they're on it probably does. But if they're on the phone a lot or whatever, playing video games, does that affect their progress? I guess maybe is the right word.
Like they're mentally ready when they come back the next day.
Mentally ready or even physically. I mean, if they're spending more time, electronically than they are.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where that's up to them, right? Like if
that's true.
If you might have a guy that it's affecting him, but it's like it's a job like anyone else is doing. It's like if you could, for us, it's whatever they do away from the rink. As long as they come to work and this. Staying out of trouble away from the rink, but as long as they're coming to work, showing up on time and working hard, like for us, it's, they could do that away from the rink, play games or whatever it is, but I don't think it really, it might affect a few guys if they're staying up late or whatever, but that's, I guess that's on them, it's, but yeah, it's definitely different with that.
So, go ahead.
I feel like, who was it that we interviewed at the end of last season? I think it was Camp, maybe. And he, even though we're in the age of video games and stuff, he was like, yeah, when I'm not at the rink, I'm working on my degree. I'm going to, and then in the background, you can hear guys, and he's like, my roommates are doing this on purpose, I swear. Talking about some of the guys. I think one of them was Gio.
Playing video games. And
they were being loud. It was so funny.
Yeah. It's always an interesting dynamic with them.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with video games.
No, we didn't think of that.
It's just different. It's different.
It's just a different generation. And so I just wondered, I'm dealing with that with my 12-year-old right now. We've just started marching band. So he's entering high school and he's in marching band, and I'm like, okay, listen, you practice after school and then you have schoolwork. So this whole coming home after practice, and just jumping on this video game doesn't work anymore, because now you've shifted a priority where you've added something to your plate. And he didn't get that at first, and then after 1 week of band camp, he was like, oh, this is going to be a lot. And I was like, yeah, but it also goes back to individual, this me as a person wanting to do well too, and wanting to have that push to be a better person and be better on the ice or be better in my sport that I'm in too. And so I don't know, I just see this kind of trajectory with some of this generation, and sometimes I want to pull my hair out. I want you to tell me, Tyler, there is hope for them. There is hope for them. Oh, mate.
Well, some of them can pull it off better than the others too.
I can't. If I game, it's over. I was playing with Gabe. He was 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, okay, I can't. I'm too old for this.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, if you're done, whatever. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
He would have stayed up till 3, and I'm like, dude, one day you're going to be almost 40 and you're not going to want to do it late.
I cannot do it anymore.
Real quick, I wanted to talk about this before we head to a break. I did want to talk. We've had a lot of changes. We have some people that have left the team. One of those definitely being Dom as captain. And I just kind of wanted to get y'all's perspective on kind of what that leadership was like that he kind of brought to the team too. Just share a little bit about that if you don't care.
Yeah, no, kind of like we were just talking about, Tyson, mentioned the video games. Guys seem to want to run home and, play video games. They do it with each other at least, so that's one good thing. But I think Dom did a really good job. He wasn't a video game guy, but he was he did a great job of always getting the guys together, what I mean? Making sure everyone, even after Saturday night, home game, and we had Sunday, Monday off or something like that, just making sure all the guys at least, went out downtown. Not every guy drinks, but at least go out and have, one beer with the guys, or before you run home and play the video games, and Dom did a really good job of always making sure the guys got together. I think a lot of them they did trivia this year, and I think Dom was a big part of that. Tuesdays a lot of them go play trivia together and just different things. He was as far as a leader, obviously on the ice, he's a guy that would always stick up for his teammates, get in fights and stuff like that, but he was a huge guy off the ice, making sure every single new guy came in, felt very welcome to the team, included everyone, and like I said, he was the guy got probably we always call it, you always need a social convener on the team. Nolan Kaiser was like that for years. He was always made sure the guys got together. We always went bowling with Nolan, but Dom kind of took over that role and was really good in that.
So as a former captain, Tyler, I'm curious, what kind of level of there's a huge responsibility in that. You're not just taking care of things on the ice, but like he's saying, there's also this outside, you got to take care of your teammates. How did you, having been in a captain role, how did you also see Dom kind of step into those roles and kind of take that over?
Yeah, I mean, once his first year here, you could see that he had the leadership, qualities in him. Just the way every day, he was a rookie at the time, but, he was a true pro right when he came in. So you could just see that. And honestly, on the ice, sticking up for teammates, fighting all that, but like Stu said, like off the ice, like you could just see it right away. Just the way that he acted, and the way that he brought guys together, and the way that he treated everyone. That's a big thing. He treated everyone with respect, whether it was so and so or so and so. He treated them. And he was obviously very well respected himself. So he's definitely someone that we're gonna miss. But he obviously he had a great career, and we wish him the best here with his new job.
So what are you guys looking for now in a new captain? Like what are the qualities? The slate's open now. What does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, we had some assistant captains last year. A lot of them are returning, so we'll kind of see as training camp goes on, and first part of the season and stuff like that, and just kind of see who's who'll kind of step up and kind of be a little bit more the voice within the locker room too. So. Obviously we'll have that leadership group, and I think we've done a pretty good job so far of, even the rookies, like obviously they're not going to come in and be captain, but it's the one thing we've really looked for this summer too, are guys that have, they've all, some of the guys we've recruited have been captains or assistant captains on their team before too. So
Smart. I
think we're going to have a lot of good leadership qualities within the locker room. So, but yeah, as far as, naming our next captain, we'll kind of see how they, when the guys first arrive and how training camp goes, and just kind of see who, takes that leadership role, and maybe kind of takes command of the room a little bit. So there's a couple guys we definitely have in mind, but like I said, we just want to wait and be patient and kind of see how it plays out.
Yeah, and that'll be something that comes out before the season starts. I mean, we'll definitely, I think, name a captain before before the first game. Might not be. We're gonna have an exhibition game. Probably won't be before then, but I think it'll be before the first game of the year. So for sure. Yeah.
So
there's been a lot of suggestions in the fan cave.
It literally didn't look like your mouth was moving, so I looked away from you so quick. So
I used to practice ventriloquism when I was a kid.
I'm not surprised. So on making a decision for captain, is it? I know, like, you're looking for those qualities and you're seeing all of these things. Is it solely up to you guys? Technically, solely up to the players? Half and half, a mixture? Like, how is that decided?
I mean, it could depend. I've seen it done both ways where, obviously me and Ty have talked about it quite a bit this summer already, but so we kind of got our one or two guys in mind a little bit, and then at the same time, we could maybe do a player vote too. Maybe after that exhibition game, guys have been here for almost 2 weeks, we'll have an exhibition game, and maybe, we can put it to a vote to the players too, and just kind of see, maybe if it aligns what we're thinking, or maybe we're down to two guys, and maybe we can have the players vote, and whatever guy maybe from there helps us make a decision. But you definitely we'll definitely be talking to some of the guys too, to see who they kind of think too. So
do you guys also think about captains in terms of longevity, like you're looking for someone who may not just be here one more year? Is that a thing, or does it matter when it comes to the leadership? Tyler shaking his head no.
It doesn't really matter. I think for us it's who we think's the best leader, or that's going to help us the most right now. Obviously at this level, it's a guy might say he wants to play for 5 years, but things could change next summer, and then it's like, he only plays 2 years and he's done. So I think for us, it's it's kind of like trying to find the guy that is that we think is going to be the best leader and it's going to help our team. But at the same time, like, we have plenty of leaders in the locker room too, and whether it's assistant captains or guys that don't have letters, like, every guy's chipping in and helping as well. So we're pretty fortunate here to have those guys.
Well, that was always something that the guys talked about a lot this year. Like, Dom was a captain, but there was also everybody was picking up where they needed to, and that was just impressive to me. I just really liked that culture, that even when things got tough, even when we didn't have a good game that weekend, even when things were shaky, even when things didn't end like we wanted to, still their mentality they were talking about in the locker room was still that leadership, and it was just nice to hear that. And I'm hoping that other teams are like that, but it's just kind of refreshing to kind of know how really close everything gets and how, like, there's an expectation too. So yeah, Tim, I feel like you're antsing for me to go to break. Is it break time? We'll take a quick break. And we'll come back, and we'll turn it back over to Catherine when we come back. We'll talk about some rule changes and get some perspectives on you guys from all these new rule changes that have happened. So you're listening to the Reekin Havoc podcast. We're filming live here at the Dostal Beer House, and we'll be right back.
Congratulations to Karen Rass, our latest fan of the week. Karen picks up a $40 gift card from Das Stall Beer House in Huntsville. Go to ReekinHavoc.com and enter your name. You might be our next winner from Das Stall Beer House and the Reekin Havoc podcast.
The Reekin Havoc podcast.
There's always something fresh pouring at Das Stall Beer House in Huntsville. Our taproom's curated draft list spans everything from local favorites to at least 3 authentic German imports at all times. Our bottle shop features a massive collection of over 450 craft beverages, as well as gluten-free and non-alcoholic treats. Check out the coffee house for a fresh breakfast, midday meal, or family dinner. Das Stall Beer House, 7914 South Parkway in Huntsville. Open 7 days a week. Das Stall Beer House, the official away watch party spot for the Huntsville Havoc.
A lot of businesses talk about putting the customer first, but at Boaz Florist, it's really true. The friendly team at Boaz Florist takes the time to understand your needs to ensure a smooth, personalized experience start to finish, from birthdays and anniversaries to weddings or sympathy arrangements. Boaz Florist is family-owned and is passionate about what they do. Call 256-593-7673. Visit them online at boazflorist.net or come see them at 10890 Highway 168. Boaz Florist.
One of the worst feelings you can have is that of being stranded. Well, BT's towing, tire, and truck repair makes that a thing of the past, with 24/7 towing services and roadside assistance in the northern Alabama and southern Tennessee areas. But that's not all. They also offer truck and trailer repair, mobile welding, brake service and repair, new and used tires, and other major and minor repairs. Their name says it all, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. For 24/7 response, call 497-8234. That's 497-8234. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair.
Hey, this is Max Milosic, and you're listening to the Reekin Havoc podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here live at the Das Stall Beer House for our recording of the Reekin Havoc podcast. We are joined tonight with our Havoc coaches, Tyler and Stu, chit-chatting about all things for the coming up season, talking about players we've signed, and I'm going to turn it over real quick because Catherine's going to bring up the one thing that has been a lot of fun and a lot of chatter in the fan cave, these new rules that are coming down the pike. And so we're interested in, while you guys think about some of the new rules that are happening, and tell us honestly what you think about them.
Yeah, I haven't been a fan for like super, super long. I think my first game was like Dom's first game as captain. Actually, my first game was when your jersey got retired. That was my first game. So my knowledge is still not where I'd like it to be. But anyways, they made a lot of changes this year with rules, I feel like. And we'll start with playoffs because now we've expanded the league, 2 more teams. So that makes it, 12 teams,
yep.
I think?
Yep.
So it's still the top 8 go to playoffs. But now it's best of 5 rather than best of 3. I know we haven't gone through it, but do we feel like this is going to be a better thing than the best of 3?
100%. Yeah, it's way better. I think, you look at the NHL, basically every other league, they do ECHL above us, they do 4 out of 7. So
right.
That's kind of the standard. So we've always kind of been, the 2 out of 3 has been, kind of crazy. I think the 3 out of 5 will, kind of reward and, separate the better teams a little bit. Like you play all season to, finish first, second, third, those top teams, a lot of times, and then you go into a playoff series and it's 2 out of 3, and sometimes it can be just the littlest thing, and, your season's over just like that. So I think 3 out of 5 will at least give, a little more, advantage to those top teams that have earned that, right to have that home ice, during the playoffs and stuff like that. So I think it's a lot better, and I think it's more exciting too. You get a little more intensity in the playoffs too, especially if you go into those 4th and 5th game. Like you'll see some really good hockey and some competitive hockey. So I'm really excited for it. I really like that rule change.
Yeah, I love it. Stu said it all. I just think with the best of 5, it's like Stu said. You could kind of, it's going to be exciting and competitive, but also, you could kind of, it's the better teams might get rewarded,
right.
Where if it's a best of 3, it's, a bounce here and there, and it's, your season could be over. So I think this gives a fair shake to, whatever team's playing, best during that series. But the best of 5, I love it. I think it's awesome. I think it's Yeah, it's exciting too. I know the players. Would be excited as well.
Is anybody worried about, like, you get to Game 5 and you're exhausted? Like, how do you guys? What do you guys do to keep them so motivated when, like, if you get to that 5th game and you're exhausted? Both teams too, but still.
Well, no, like before, because like you played 2 out of 3, so you basically had to, the series had to be done within one weekend, So now I think we have 12 days to play 5 games.
Okay.
So it's going to be spread out over a little bit. So, especially if you go to the finals, like it is going to be, the season's going to go a little bit longer. To go now, typically it's usually over right at the end of April there, maybe one game into May, but now we'll probably go into, the first week of May, maybe the second week, so it'll be a little bit longer too. So
thank God.
Each series will be
literally.
Yeah, so each series will be extended a little bit. So basically, you have 2 full weekends to get a playoff series in.
Gotcha.
So there'll still be, you'll get a little bit of rest during the week and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think that'll affect it at all.
Nice.
So
I don't.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I don't know if I just came up with this out of my brain. Like, I don't know if it was my imagination, but I feel like the home team got to kind of choose the schedule of like travel. Am I correct? Was that SPHL or is that somewhere else?
I mean, you kind of do, but at the same time, a lot of it comes down to building availability too, right? So sometimes, if there's, a concert at the VBC on a Friday and we're supposed to start a playoff series, we might have to go, you might start on the road instead of starting at home or, so there's a lot of variables that go into it. The home team typically does have the final kind of like say,
right?
But at the same time, you got to work with both, whatever ice is available. So sometimes it doesn't work out that way and it's just whatever's, available, So, and obviously with us, a lot of stuff does happen at the VBC. We end up at the Iceplex a lot. So with this too, with the 3 out of 5, it should give us some more flexibility to hopefully play more home or more games at the VBC. So that's actually another benefit for us too, for sure. So
it kind of came out of my imagination, is what I'm hearing.
Well, no, you are right. The home team does have final say, but it can be difficult sometimes because you just don't know.
Because Disney on Ice might be, the priority.
Yeah, monster trucks.
Monster trucks and Disney on Ice.
Other buildings have stuff going on too. So yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work out the way you want maybe.
Yeah, that was kind of going to be what my question was, and it would depend on availability. Would it be like a 2 at home, 2 on the road, 1 back at home, if you do go 5 games? Or?
Yeah, I think they kind of, so it depends on who you play. So I think they put, I can't remember the exact mileage, but, so, if we're playing Quad City or Peoria, one of those teams that are far away.
We'll be the ones that travel is what you're saying.
No, but it'd be 2-2-1. So whoever the home seed is, it'd be 2 games, and then 1 game.
Yeah.
Whereas if we're playing Birmingham, it could be 1-1-1-1-1. So it depends on the mileage for travel. So, but then again, it also comes down to availability too, so there could be some wiggle room there too. So there are some kind of mileage rules that they put in place for some of that too. So.
Okay.
Do we know when the second rink is going to be finished?
No, I know that they're in process, and
I saw a video. I don't know if you guys have seen this video of them working on the bottom of the rink. Obviously, like, they're not putting ice in or anything yet.
I saw this.
They literally look like they're playing bumper cars on the ice. They're on a bunch of machines, and they're just like, I swear to God, they were like, we're going to record this, do what you want. And the guy just spins in circles. I was cackling.
I'm glad you brought that up. How is that going to help, too, if we end up in a situation with that new addition at the Iceplex? How's that going to help?
Well, yeah, I think it's a bigger arena, so they're building like kind of like a mini little bowl. So it'd almost be, like our bottom part of our arena instead of going all the way up. So I think, I don't know what the final number ended up being, if it was like 1,500 or 1,800. I don't know what it ended up being.
I heard it was like 1,800.
18, so.
I was thinking around there.
Yeah, so like typically when we played at the Iceplex, I think we were allowed like 800 people. So now if we have to play over at the Iceplex, it'll be, maybe like 1,800. And then, there might be some wiggle room to add some seats around the glass or something like that too. So it might be a little bit more. So it'll just be, I think a little
Bring
more.
Bring your own chairs.
Yeah, just
oh my God.
maybe like a better, more people and just, maybe a better atmosphere. So.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. Okay, got another rule. What's the next one?
Now we are also transitioning in the 3-point system, which I have never followed a sport that did the point system like the way hockey does. So it doesn't affect me because I didn't understand it to begin with, to be honest. So now it's the 3, 2, and 1 points. Do you feel like that really changes anything for you?
I mean, honestly, I I like that system a lot. I know like the Federal League was using it and colleges use it. I just think you get rewarded if you win in regulation. You get rewarded for that, and then obviously, an overtime wins 2, and then, overtime losses 1. So, the one thing I was thinking about quickly was like maybe towards, at the end of the year, if you're chasing a playoff spot and you might need 3 points. Well,
yeah, right.
I don't know if it's a tie game and, do you pull the goalie to try to get the win in regulation? That was something that I kind of thought about right when it came out, was towards the end of the year. But honestly, I like it. I think the biggest thing is you get rewarded if you win in regulation, and then you still get your 2 points if you win in overtime, right, or a shootout. So
does that mean you would get 5 points potentially? You still just get 2 if you won in overtime, right?
Well, so there's 3 points given out every game.
Period, right?
So if you win in regulation, you get all 3. But if it goes to overtime, now you're splitting those 3 points.
Gotcha.
2 to the winner, 1 to the the loser. And the whole idea is to hopefully there's sometimes you're in a game and maybe there's 10 minutes left. It's tied 2-2 and both teams maybe you're just kind of sitting back and just okay, let's each get a point, and then the other team can get 1 point. Now it's like, hey, there's extra points on the line, let's push here, let's try to win this game. So that's kind of what I think the league's trying to hope happens, is teams are pushing all the way to the last minute, right to the buzzer, be like, hey, let's win this game, get the 3 points, instead of kind of maybe sitting back and just being like, accept the 1 point, and then overtime's always kind of we always say it's 50-50. Honestly, you can have a breakaway, you don't score, but then now you got guys caught, so now it's a breakaway the other way, so overtime's always kind of 50-50. It's not always the best team that wins in overtime. It's who gets the best opportunities, kind of. So
when I talked to Gio last week or so, he mentioned with this particular thing that the teams get really stacked at the very end, where you may have someone, you've got 3 teams that all have the same amount of points, right? Or he mentioned Havoc's down 6, and then they win, and then they jump right back up, within a couple of weeks because of that. But he thought that maybe this system would kind of even and spread that out a lot more.
Yeah, I think I didn't do the numbers or anything like that, but I think there's a lot of overtime games in our league last year. So, and the standings were super close, So it's closest I think I've ever seen it from when I was a player to coaching. Honestly, last year was, obviously besides Peoria, kind of ran away with first place, but between 2 and was it 6? I think was all really close.
Everything was within a stepping stone.
It was insane.
But there was a lot of overtime games, so so I think maybe that could change a little bit this year. Where
because you're not both getting 1 now, you're getting somebody's getting the 2 and somebody's getting 1.
So you might see a little bit of a difference there this year. So we'll see.
Okay, you got another good one?
So on overtime, now I already hate overtime. If you enjoy overtime, I'm scared. Right? It's still the 3-on-3, but now it's 7 minutes instead of 5 minutes. Same thing, right? It's just going to be whoever gets better opportunities. Do we like that more? Personally, I'll go ahead and say it. I hate it because I hate 3-on-3. I'd rather go to a shootout, and that's insane.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you like the shootout better? Or do you
do. I like the shootout better.
Why is that?
I think because maybe my first or second year, it was right before the playoffs. I've got to be careful how I word this. We were playing Peoria, and I was having there was a player from the other team, and I was so tired of this guy, getting on my nerves. And it was a shootout, and he went to shoot and missed it. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. And then I don't remember who made it. And I was recording it for one of my friends that couldn't be there. And I still have the video of as soon as he makes it, obviously the crowd goes insane. And I hear myself, a noise that has never come out of my body, ever. And I may have said choice words that I cannot post on social media. So I feel like literally just from that game, it's more exciting without just sitting there waiting like it is for 3-on-3.
Yeah, I feel like there's such a time. It feels like it's forever. And then it's also on the edge of my seat, because if one of them gets it, it's over. At least I know with a shootout, I've got a little bit more hockey time left, too. I get to watch a little bit more. And also, I really like when there's a shootout, because you get to see a lot of good, the guys who have the good stick handling, right? The guys who are really good and at some of those things, of those strengths. And I think this year, didn't they change the rule, too, where you have to pick the first Like you have to pick your guys that are going to do the shootout, and those are the ones.
Well, there's so it's down to 3 shooters instead of 5.
That was my next one.
And then in the past we've you do your first 5 shooters and then you can start repeating guys, right? So a lot of times we would use Phil Augustin was really good at shootouts, or Alger's really good at shootouts, so we could put them back. But now you can't reuse guys, so that's a bit of a rule change there too. But I kind of like that one actually. Like I don't like that change where. I like being able to reuse guys. I don't know. It's just a little more of.
Well, you've got guys that's
coaching.
their strength too.
Yeah.
Like that I'm going to send Alger out every other time, and I know this is what his strength is.
Yeah, and it's a little more. I think the coaches are more involved now. It's just going to be like, all right, we'll just check down a line. It's going to be every single guy's got to go. So
does that change?
You're still going to put your best guys obviously at the top to go first, but the whole idea with the 7-minute overtime is just. I think even they want to make they want the game to end more from like a hockey actual aspect, right? So
for sure.
Obviously go 5-on-5 down to 3-on-3. So again, it's a little more of a skill game then anyways, but it's still more hockey than just a shootout. A shootout is like a skills competition. It's like who can stick handle the best, where it's just not
see those and
but that's so it's not necessarily as much hockey, right? But you can't play all night, so you got to find one way to end it. So that's where the shootouts came in. But it's just trying to by extending it an extra 2 minutes, hopefully it ends more in a hockey play than just a skills competition.
So do you guys, does that, knowing that you can't reuse guys immediately or that way now, does that change like in practice? Like, okay, like some of you we know are not the best at the shootout, but you might need to step your game up because you never know when you're going to be called, and that might be your moment. You're laughing again every time.
Well, I was thinking to myself, I was like, Dom retired 1 year too early. Dom used to always ask us. He'd be joking around, but he'd be like, Stu, put me in. But now, if
he would have had to be put in, and would have been like, well, this could end
he might have been number 18 or 19.
Hopefully it doesn't go 19 rounds. But I think like last year, it's obviously you can't reuse guys, but next year it'll be 3 guys, and then I know like last year we had a handful of guys that were pretty good at shootouts. So I think it's after we pick our top 3, and then after that, hopefully we have a handful of guys that we feel comfortable with as well. Obviously, it's not every guy's a stay-at-home defenseman. That's not his biggest strength as a shootout. But if it gets to that point, then
we may have a Cinderella moment where it's like a Cinderella story moment where you got that one defenseman that like wins. Right, and that's it.
Reg might have to go at some point.
Oh my gosh.
That's
so funny. So if you guys were right now having to choose based on like who you like last year, we'll just do last year's team. Like who would those 3 people be that you would have sent out? As you said, Alger. Would you stay with him?
Yeah, Alger, would still go.
Would he be your first one? Like, how would you rank those 3?
Well, I usually try to keep Alger, for a little bit later, Usually try to, a couple guys maybe earlier. And then, he's pretty good under pressure. So, again, you can put him, towards the end. I think a lot of times I put him out 4th, So, if there's a little bit of pressure, I felt like he didn't really crack under it. So, he might be your 3rd shooter now. Or maybe it depends how the first 2 shooters go, too. Or the first one, too, if you're down early really quick. But, he would definitely be a guy that's still in it. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, like, last year, we'd always put Kessner.
Kessler always went.
Yeah, he was a shooter. I'm trying to think though, who did we usually send first?
Well, that's the other thing. Alger doesn't like to go first because he actually.
Yeah, he reads.
I think I put him first the first year he was here, and he was kind of mad at me. He's like he wants to watch the goalie, to try to pick up any cues or anything.
Smart.
So he usually goes 3rd or 4th, but obviously now he'll be 2nd or 3rd probably. But so. Yeah, we'll figure out our guys, but we do shootouts in practice kind of every week towards the end of the day before, just so we get an idea. Maybe some guys just really hot the day before too.
Yeah.
So,
and if we get to 19 and we know who the last 2 are on the team, we know who the weak shooter links are. There's nothing wrong.
Now they're all going to have to be.
But I think that's what makes hockey such a neat sport is everyone has their strengths. Everyone has their weaknesses, their strengths, and everything works well together, and everyone knows when to take their place, in that. And I just think the shootout thing now could be kind of fun to kind of watch people who weren't having to step up into
For
that.
sure.
Is there any more you got?
First of all, another thing I like about the shootout is specifically last year was the music that our staff did. They would do something really cool for ours and then do the clown carnival music.
Yeah,
I always, it doesn't even, obviously I still want to win, but it didn't even matter if we won at that point. That was so funny to me.
The kids liked it.
Oh my God. I'll save the best one for last, but another one was on like diving and embellishment. Now, if you get the diving embellishment, it's no longer like set off penalties. Now the other one is nullified. Is that the word I think I'm looking for?
Yeah.
So now,
I think it's a great rule because I've honestly never understood that. Where if you think a guy dove, then why is that guy getting a penalty? Like,
right.
He clearly didn't do anything. So, well, I'm curious how that one goes with the referees. We'll see how that one plays out. But yeah, I like that one because it didn't really make sense in the first place. So, if a guy's embellishing, then why should the other guy get a penalty? He's trying to draw a penalty. So, yeah, it makes sense to me.
Agreed. And then our last one,
coach's challenge. So at the places that have instant replay, you get a challenge. You get one per game, right? If you lose, it's a penalty for delay of game. Is it if you win, you get to keep it or no? I thought you get to keep it.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thoughts?
But not everybody has the ability to do it.
No,
that's what I don't like.
I think it's us, Birmingham, Pensacola, Evansville, and Peoria started last year, but when we were there, it wasn't working. So
great,
Peoria.
Yeah, it was one of their first weekend. I think it was the second weekend they had it, so it worked the first weekend, didn't work the second weekend. But
how interesting! The week we're here, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right?
Stop.
I don't really think that rule is going to have any kind of factor because it's really more for the referees to go and review stuff anyways. So they should do it almost anyways. There was one last year actually. I think we were beating someone pretty. I think we were up 5 or 6-1 or something like that, or maybe actually nothing. And they had a guy kick a puck into the net.
That's exactly the one that I was thinking.
Yeah, and like right away, all our guys they kicked it in, and the refs they wouldn't even review it for some reason.
Yes.
And so maybe that's one where I would do it there just to try to, especially because I think it broke a shutout for our goalie.
Yeah.
So it's like I'll try to help our goalie out, and if we got to kill a penalty, hey. Yeah. But I really don't think it's going to be much of a factor, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it'll be much of a factor. I feel like refs, too, like, if they're unsure if it crossed the line or whatever, like, they're going to review it as well. So I think the biggest thing is not every arena has cameras and has, like,
right.
If you watch on TV, the Nashville Predators or the NHL, like, those cameras are really good. So it's like, not every team in this league has them. So, yeah, I don't think it will, be, like, a big factor at all.
Right.
But why not require, if we're going to have a rule like this, why not have a requirement that every arena gets to have that capability?
Right. If you want to be at that level, you need to be at that level.
Just my opinion,
Yeah, it'll cost a lot of money to install, you're going to probably need, a camera above, a couple cameras in the corners, and it's just, it'll cost a lot of money for every single team to install that. And then there's like a video software program that you'd have to, every team would have to have. So, and some of the buildings are, maybe tricky with, I know for ours too, we got the new sound system 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And where they installed one of the speakers should be exactly where a camera's shooting down. So, some things like that. Yeah, so the speaker probably shouldn't be there, because UH, when they used to be here, they had a camera that actually shot right down. But now if you turn that camera on, it looks right into that speaker. So
it's null and void, can't use it.
Oh, my God. Okay.
There's different things like that. Like every building's different where, they might not have the capabilities too. So there's different factors.
I understand that. I get that.
Like Knoxville.
Yeah, I get that.
Do they have it? I assume they don't.
No, they don't.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think they could.
The
way their arena
scares
is built.
me.
Okay, well, we're going to go to a quick break, and then we're going to come back for our last 10-ish minutes, round things up with some thoughts on. We've got 4 guys that we've signed so far. So wanted to get some thoughts on that, and we'll be right back. So you're listening to the Reekin Havoc podcast. We're live here at the Dostal Beer House.
The Reekin Havoc podcast. Here's a Reekin Havoc recap.
2 more signees have come aboard since our last episode. One is a familiar name. Forward Gio Procopio returns for his 3rd year. He accounted for 65 points in his 110 games, consisting of 25 goals and 40 assists, with 179 penalty minutes to go along with it. He had also been named as alternate captain. Defenseman Davis Gaukler is a new face on the team after playing at the University of Alaska Anchorage for 3 years and Utica for a fourth, where he appeared in 27 games, putting up 9 assists and 1 goal. He had signed a PTO in Macon for 3 games following college. Get Havoc gear at up to 60% off now with the Christmas in July sale through the end of the month. Jerseys, headwear, pucks, and more. Go online to havocgear.com. The Havoc School Supply Drive with Kids to Love is going on through August 6th. You can donate backpacks, binders, filler paper, colored pencils, markers, and other items at the Havoc store while earning rewards points at the same time. The 7th Annual Havoc Golf Classic is coming up August 31st at Cherokee Ridge. There will be door prizes for each golfer. Food and range balls will also be provided. Shotgun start will be at noon with registration at 11. Go to HuntsvilleHavoc.com and under the Community tab, click Golf Tournament. Full season as well as half-season tickets for next year are now on sale. Go to the menu at HuntsvilleHavoc.com and click on the Tickets tab. Current front office summer hours are being suspended for this week as the staff is attending a conference and will resume Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. on August 3rd.
Has nature taken over your property? Call Clear Cut Land Services. Whether you need brush and small tree clearing, fence line cleanup, gravel driveway repair, or land prepared for future development, Clear Cut has you covered. From small residential lots to large rural tracts, they proudly serve landowners, homeowners, farmers, and real estate professionals across North Alabama and Southern Tennessee. Get your property looking its best with dependable professional service. Call 256-617-5422 or visit Clear Cut Land Services on Facebook. Clear Cut Land Services, clearing the way for a better tomorrow.
Attention Havoc Nation, if you think you have what it takes to be our fan of the week, head on over to ReekinHavoc.com and register. We'll announce the winner of a $40 gift card from Dostal Beer House every week on the Reekin Havoc podcast, and it might as well be you. What are you waiting for? Enter now. Restrictions apply. That's the fan of the week from Dostal Beer House and the Reekin Havoc podcast.
Hi, this is Cole Regginato, and you're listening to the Reekin Havoc podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Reekin Havoc podcast. We've been live here chatting with Coaches Stu and Tyler all about things coming up for the new Havoc hockey season. And we've got new teams in the league, which is kind of fun. So I wanted to chat really quick with you guys about that. But also, we've signed some guys, and that's been a lot of fun chatter on social media in the past 2 weeks of seeing who's going to be announced at what time. So let's start with the new teams that are coming out. We've got the Rock Lobsters over in Athens, and we've got the PD Ice Cats in North Carolina, South Carolina. South Carolina. It was Carolina. Y'all ever been to any of these areas? Know anything about them? No, yes?
No, never been. No, never been over there. So, I know Athens has a brand new arena. It's this will be the 3rd year it's open. So, that's pretty exciting. I know the University of Georgia's right there too. So, from everything I heard, pretty good city, good arena and stuff like that. I think they've done pretty good with their fans over the first couple of years. So. Yeah. Excited to get there and kind of see what they have there. And then, PD, I think they were actually back in the league, back when the league first started, in 04, 05, 6, maybe somewhere in that range. No idea about the arena. Haven't really seen that one. So, but again, I've heard, good things about the location and the area and stuff like that. And I know last year in the Federal League coming in was their first year. I think they had really good attendance too. So hopefully that continues into our league, and they do a really good job there. So kind of excited to get to both places and kind of see some new cities and new arenas.
Well, you talk about the arenas. I've seen some pictures of the Rock Lobsters arena, and it looks really snazzy. And I'm like, if there's an arena that might rival some of the things that we like about the VBC or want, it might be that one. Although I've seen what the new Mobile arena is going to look like too, and I'm getting a little antsy about what that one's going to be also.
Yeah, that'll be nice getting them in. Obviously, another Alabama team too. So, going down there will be a closer travel for us too. So that'll be exciting too. Obviously, brand new arena. So that'll be exciting to get another team in the league.
Does that mean, since we call Birmingham our little brother, that Mobile will be our nephew or something like?
I would say little brother,
or little brother or baby brother. There you go, little brother and baby brother, or middle brother. Birmingham gets to be the middle child now.
I can't.
Literally, they're in the middle of the state. They're the middle child.
Oh my
I've
gosh.
started something. Okay, so we've signed 4 guys, and so we wanted to get some thoughts on the guys that we've officially signed back. But we also had a question, too, because we know training camp's coming up. And we were talking beforehand, like, the 4 that we've got signed, like they are definite on the team next year, or do things change in training camp? Can they change in training camp? How does that work?
Yeah, things can change all the time.
Okay.
Obviously we've announced 4 guys. We have a lot more guys signed than that. That's
right.
It's funny. It's talking to fans sometimes, like, how do you only have 4 guys signed? Well, we have.
You guys already know who's there. You just can't release it yet. We know.
We have a lot more, but obviously the social media, they like to spread it out.
Yeah.
Give you a little more.
Get some likes and chatter going.
Yeah, some stuff during the summer, not just like release them all at once.
Yeah.
So, but no, some of these guys might end up signing in the ECHL too.
Gotcha.
So as the summer goes on, some of these guys end up signing. We've had scenarios where a guy in September got offered a job and took a job and ended up playing hockey too.
Gotcha.
And then obviously training camp, we're allowed to have more guys than are going to be on a roster. We bring guys in. It's a training camp. They gotta make the team. Get a spot on the roster. So there are going to be guys that we release during training camp as well. And then when the ECHL starts releasing guys too, we'll be looking to maybe pick some guys up too that maybe we had our eye on all summer, but they got an offer in the ECHL and went there. So yeah, there's a lot of things that can change. But I think the first few guys we've signed or they've announced, they're guys that we expect to be here. I think most of the year.
So I don't guess you can give us a scoop, can you?
Can't get him. I was literally
who are the 4 guys? I know Alger.
So I've got Alger, Geo, Fries, and our new guy.
I don't want to say his name wrong.
You guys tell us how to say the new guy's name.
Gokler.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So again, Gokler, he's Fries, Alger, and Geo, they'll be here. They're, they've been here for a while. They're not guys that are looking to really go to the ECHL anymore. So, I think they're pretty stable here, and then Davis there, there's a chance he's he's got a pretty good resume that, if a team, in the ECHL came calling, he might want to go and, take a training camp there. So he could be a guy that ends up, getting a call later on in the summer. Maybe he goes to a camp. So, that's something, we got to be prepared for. But, right now, that hasn't happened. We're expecting him to show up at training camp in October. So, he's a guy we're excited about too. So, it'd be good to get him in here.
So, I have a question about that I was trying to get together before we came on. I was talking to them. I probably confused my friends here on it. But you have signed or officially announced that someone is coming to the team with the new guy. But he's not gone through training camp, right? So that's interesting to me, like how often we have newbies that haven't really been through training camp and stuff, and we're signing them. So, like, for a fan who maybe doesn't understand the difference in, like, people coming to training camp and trying out for those spots, but now you have a new person who's never played and hasn't necessarily gone through training camp yet, and we've signed them. Help us understand how that works. Like, to me, that's kind of a weird logic for me. We know Alger, Geo, and them have played, right? And so we know them. They're seasoned. Now we're bringing someone in new that we're excited about. We've signed them, but we've not also had training camp and stuff. So how does that work?
Well, yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. I'm just trying to.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
So, over the summer, obviously, we talked about it earlier, like, we'll, recruiting and, getting to know guys and stuff, and then we'll sign them to a contract, and then we sign them to a contract, then they come to training camp, and then out of training camp, that's where, we got more spots in training camp, and then, after a few days, we got to dwindle it down a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we got our open at night roster, so that, there's going to be some, guys that are released during training camp, but I think training camp's a big thing for, especially a guy we've never seen before as far as, impressing us in training camp. Like, we've done our research, we've watched video on these guys, and we've talked to people about them, but training camp's a great opportunity for us as coaches to be able to, watch them ourselves, and then have an exhibition game is huge to be able to see him in a game. And obviously, like a guy like Fries or Geo or Alger, like, we've obviously seen those guys the last couple of years, and we've got to know them and know the way they play. But for the rookies, like that's the way they come in training camp. It's we've done our research, but for them, it's to show us the way that they can play and impress us to where through training camp, and then hopefully they make the team. So I think that's the biggest thing is during training camp everyone's working they're working towards making the team. That's the biggest thing,
and I think
that's why we make training camp hard as well, is to make sure that the guys that get through there, that we think they're the right guys, come day one of the regular season.
Well, I think that's kind of where I was trying to understand, especially for some fans, we've signed somebody new, and to them, they're automatically on the team. Is that are they automatically a team member or no? Like, I think a lot too. There may be some confusion too when we see signings that happen, because I think we think, oh, we've signed them, right? They're now officially a team member, but also they have to still go through training camp, and things could happen. And so that's where I was trying to understand how that kind of process works.
Yeah, I mean, things are always happening too, but I think like we make it clear with guys when they. When we make the, announcements through social media and stuff, but with the guys, like, we're clear you got to come here and earn a spot. Yeah. So it's making sure you get through training camp as well, and, to make sure you earn that spot and you make the team.
Well, for those of us who have done some research or looked in, tell us a little bit about Davis. Tell us who he is, like, what kind of stood out to you guys so far?
Yeah, so he's kind of, if you look back on his hockey history there, we've had a lot of guys that have come up through, Shreveport, Dom, Gio, Jack, Dawson. A lot of guys played junior hockey for this one team. We've picked up a lot of players from there. We had a guy, Gavin Morgan, used to be the assistant coach in UAH, and then worked for Shreveport for a long time too. And then he helped us out last year, me and Tyler, during practices and stuff like that. Had just amazing things to say about Golkler there. So he was a guy that he was pretty high on, and thought we should sign. Nice. And then from there he went on to play some Division I hockey, and then his last year transferred to Utica. Yeah. We've had a lot of I trust the coach there a lot. Buster was there. Ben Schulteis from last year. Yeah. Guys have played there that we've had a lot of really good players come through there. So just kind of through the the pipeline, some of the teams that we've had there. So really excited about him. Big kid, defensive, moves the puck well. I know in junior he fought a lot. We'll see if that translates to pro hockey, but he's a guy we're really excited about. I think he's big, skates well, defends well, moves the puck well. So definitely a guy we're really excited to see, and we think can be a factor on our team this year and make a good impact. But like I said, sometimes junior hockey and college hockey doesn't always translate to pro hockey. That's why you bring in, extra guys, and you kind of see how they fit into, pro hockey. It's, it's not always the same. Sometimes the best college players aren't the best pro players, and sometimes the lesser college guys are better pro players. So it's, that's why you bring, like I said, extra guys into training camp, and you see who fits in the best.
Is the thinking sometimes you might want to get this new guy, try to kind of cut in line, get him before somebody else does, because you can always, cut him later on.
Oh, you're talking about signing him before training camp.
Well, we're only allowed to sign like 23 players for training camp, so we do got to be selective. We could, if we could sign more guys, we'd probably just go out and try to sign every single guy. But we do have to be selective too. So there is a bit of a process in that too. We can't just go out and be like, you, and just sign a bunch of guys. And also, you got to know how many guys are returning from last year's team, or how many guys we wanted back and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But for example, Gokes there, he was a guy that we targeted pretty early on, and he was one of the first guys we signed, just because obviously with like I mentioned Gavin before, he had a lot of great things to say about him. He's a guy we trust, so he was a guy we targeted really early on.
I know I saw that he played a couple of games in, I believe it was Macon last year. Yeah. And someone had mentioned they probably saw him there, and I'm thinking they are not I'm assuming you're not paying attention. Would we want that guy next year? Could we trade that guy this year? I don't think.
Or do you? Do you see guys that come through and
that's
you're
what I'm
like,
saying,
man, how do we get that guy?
No, he was a guy we had on our list already. We wanted him for this upcoming season. Last year we felt like we had a really good team, so we didn't really bring in too many, young guys. we didn't bring any young defensemen in, and he's a defenseman. So we were just hoping he wouldn't sign anywhere, and then we could sign him this summer. Macon ended up having to sign him. Found him, signed him. It didn't work out there. So. And then he was a free agent this summer. So, again, we jumped on him right away because he was a guy we really wanted for this upcoming season. So, sometimes that happens too, where other teams, there's guys that, we feel like we can't, we're scouting all year round, recruiting. So, back in, starting in January, February, March, like we're looking at all these college guys that are just graduating. So, there's guys that we do have on our list. And, sometimes other teams sign them in our league. We feel like we have a good team. We don't want to bring a guy in to, disrupt things. So, they end up signing on other teams, and you just have to accept that, and then later on, if you can get them at another point in their career, then there's a guy that we wanted before, so we'll try to get him later on.
Okay, so there's colleges that if I had not ever followed hockey, I would never have known in my entire life, and one of them is Utica. I feel like Utica, Aurora, when it's mentioned, I'm like, you don't know what that college is, and random people are like, how would I have any idea what that is? And is there like a reason that you guys end up with a lot of players from there, or is it just like always on your radar like that?
Or do they have like the kind of
the Briarcrest,
the kind of coaching too?
Yeah,
right? Like the kind of coaching mentality that they have that kind of fit better like with what you guys want in the locker room. It could be that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's there's a few different things, obviously, but it's, get a relationship with some of the coaches and coaches that you trust too, right? So obviously, we've had some guys from Utica and guys from different schools, so where you get a relationship, and then you could trust a coach and kind of trust what he says. And then, obviously, like we always say it, but like a lot of times, like our players are our biggest recruiters as well. So it's, if a guy was at Utica and then we might ask him, hey, is there a kid, this upcoming year graduating? Can you tell us a little about him? And then obviously we'll watch him and stuff. But I think that's the big thing there is, I know a few years ago it was like Stevens Point when I was playing. We had a lot of guys from there, and it's, you get to trust the coach there, and then it's kind of, okay, you ask one of the players that's in Huntsville that played at Stevens Point, what do you think of this guy? And I think a big thing is a lot of the schools that we have said are schools that, usually are pretty good teams in college hockey or university or whatever it is. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, but I think the biggest thing is it's a lot of times you'll ask players or people that whether it's coaches or whatever it is about guys, and it's important that, if you trust them, you'll take their word for it.
I feel like, I think it was my first year maybe watching. It was a school in Toronto, and it was Kyle Clark, David Thompson. Like, I remember talking to Kyle or talking to I don't remember. And they were like, oh, yeah, he was there. And he called me and said, hey, you should come down here. So here I am.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane
cool
to me.
Yeah, that they just know, the players know who to call and know which people, right, that they worked with or played with in college fit the lifestyle, kind of what they want and stuff there.
Yeah, University of Toronto, we've had a bunch of guys, through there. Again, coach, I know pretty well, trust him. If he tells me, this player's a good player and a good person, like I 100% trust that coach, I'm like, yeah, I'm bringing this guy in, know. Unfortunately, I was trying to bring a guy in from there this year, but the kid decided to retire and not play hockey. Took a job, so that was kind of disappointing. So, but yeah, I mean, he's a coach that I'll reach out to every single year and be like, hey, you got any players? And if he names one or two or three, then I'll try and get those guys, and that's same with Utica. Like, really trust that coach a lot. The Aurora, trust. We've had a good pipeline through there. Stevens Point, really trust that coach. So yeah, there's certain teams that you definitely gravitate towards more for sure.
Okay, so Catherine, if I want to ask both of you because I want to see the reactions. Who's the person you want signed next?
That's not nice.
Yeah, who is it?
Because I don't have good feelings about some of these players.
Like coming back?
Yes, not good feelings.
Who do you
what
want
I mean?
to see back? Who's your person?
Well, my granddaughter would like to see Reggie back.
Yeah.
So I'll just say Reggie.
Okay. You got one?
That's also my answer. I would like to see Jackson Camp. I was actually about to ask a question about him anyways. I'd like to see him.
Okay. Mine's Lindsay.
Oh my God, that's like a given though.
But I know, but like
wanting him back.
But like he literally was such a good, like he just, I don't know. I see rookies come through, but like he was like a fun rookie to have last year, you know. And I just love watching.
Sitting over here with their poker faces.
I know.
Their poker faces. I'm trying to pull something out of them.
We can't spill any secrets for our social media, you know. So
we need a new
admin would. I think admin would allow it.
What's your Jackson Camp? He was fun to talk with. I really liked this.
I did, yeah. I don't remember if his dad is still. The school that he went to. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, University of Guelph. Yeah.
Yes.
His dad was a coach there for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah. His dad moved on.
I know he coached some NHL players because we talked about that.
Yeah, I think
because I looked up those players.
I think his dad retired. Was it just 1 year ago? Was it?
I think it was
done.
So, yeah,
or maybe 2 years ago or something like that. But yeah, he.
See, I was going to ask if he was a connection, but he had mentioned NHL players that his dad coached, and unfortunately, I started watching NHL a year after I started watching the Havoc, so I was like, that's awesome. No idea who the players were. I was like, that's so cool. And then I ended up searching and I was like, that's crazy.
That's kind of
like a captain of the Washington Capitals.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
His dad coached a long time in the Ontario Hockey League too. So
okay.
A lot of NHL players have gone through that league. So yeah, he definitely coached a lot of really good players.
Yeah, I'd like to see him back. I think if it was just me, because I don't have the hockey IQ obviously that players have, but I liked what I saw with what I felt like was his IQ.
Okay, so that also makes me say that the other one I really want Earn to come back.
Who, sorry?
Earn.
Oh, Earn. Sorry.
Lincoln.
You were like, who's that? We already got rid of him.
We got rid of him. He's not here anymore. I really like
everyone calls him Ernie. So
Ernie,
I was kinda like, his nickname's Ernie. So I was like, Earn.
Was his nickname Ernie because everybody kept messing it up? Or was that really like his nickname?
I mean, most hockey names you just throw a Y onto that.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like, it's just, So
I think it's always been,
Yeah.
That's funny. I'd like to see him come back too. Okay.
We got to stop. We're going to mention it.
I know. We're going to mention all of them, but I think those two are my two biggest ones. Yeah. So, yeah. And you're over here just staring them down in the face, trying to get
for something.
Okay. So
we'll stop recording and then ask again.
Before you kind of eye twitch.
So we're going to wrap it up. We've appreciated you guys chatting with us. But the last thing that Catherine and I wanted to just kind of touch base on is you guys just finished up youth camp. That was a big deal that happened, and I thought we'd end on like a real fun note of how was that like seeing all these kids get to come to camp and you guys out there working with them.
It's awesome. Obviously, seeing the kids show up, and we try to make it fun as well. So seeing the smiles on their faces, but also for us just to kind of get out in the community, and hockey's obviously getting a lot. It's getting very popular here. So to see
popular.
To see all the kids. I think the best thing is just seeing them having fun and smiling, and whether it's on the ice or off the ice. But for us, like we really enjoy doing that, especially getting to know a lot of these kids. A lot of these kids will either come to games or, they go with their parents to games. They might have season tickets. So for us to kind of give back a little bit as well and obviously have fun with the kids, whether it's, if it's on the ice or outside playing kickball or whatever it is. But just to see the smiles, on their faces, it's a really fun, it's a fun week for us, especially just to be around the kids and obviously having fun.
What is the one thing you want those kids to take away from that camp, like when it comes down to it?
I mean, having fun. Yeah. I mean, hopefully, obviously, if they could learn a thing or two, I guess. But, obviously, on the ice and stuff, like we're doing drills and we're going to teach them a little bit. But I think, at that age especially, it's making sure they're having fun.
Yeah.
Whether it's on the ice, a game on the ice, a drill, or
do y'all do that at the Von Braun, or do y'all don't do it there? You do it at the ice place. Yeah.
One of my a family that I'm friends with, one of my favorite kids, he does the youth camp every year, and this past hockey season they were missing like the first half of every Friday game because he had tried out for like the age up all-star team, I don't know, and had made it, and he was sad that he was missing obviously the Havoc game, but he was like, yeah, but this is so cool. Like he was like the youngest kid by a hot minute, and was like, yeah, but I went to the youth camp, so like it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And the pictures I saw of the kids, and like I could see him. He kind of started this year getting like, I'm too cool for school, but like the pictures that I saw, he was like grinning the hardest out of all the kids around him, and I think that's so cool.
And y'all do the youth camp every year. Y'all have 2 weeks of it. 1 week is it go? long as it
Yeah,
goes?
we actually just, I think it was last year, we moved it up to 2 weeks. So, honestly, me, there's me, Jesse Kalecki, and Justin Cedar. We started that camp probably, man, I can't remember what year that was. My third or fourth year, like playing.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
We kind of started that up, and then it's just it's kept going, and then it's kind of grown, and then obviously I think when Ty stopped playing and became a coach, I think it kind of blew up the camp a little more. A lot of kids wanted to come out.
Of course.
Yeah. So the last 2 years we've done 1 week in June and 1 week in July, and we've had anywhere between 100 or 80 to 100 kids between the 2 weeks. So it's a lot of kids, but it's awesome.
And you've got girls and guys.
Yeah.
And how's that?
I think this one in July is the most girls we've ever had, which was awesome. And honestly, I think the girls are usually the best ones. You know what I mean? They're most like fired up. I'd say the most competitive, and I think they have the most fun out of it too. So I think the girls are always awesome in the camp. So
that's awesome.
I'm sure they love beating the boys. That's what I would have fun with.
Yeah, if they can. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Me and Laura keep saying we're gonna go to the Iceplex and learn how to play
one day.
Yeah, and get
Guy to be
like the commentator for us.
Tell us how to.
Oh my god.
That sounds exciting, and I love seeing you guys give back to the youth, and it's kind of fun too, right, Dom? It's now stepping into a youth leadership role. You guys have this that go on. It's just really nice, and the times that I've been to the Iceplex lately, just kids everywhere of all ages, of all strengths, and some that have no clue what they're doing or starting out, and some that are really well into it. And it's just a testament, I think, to the hockey culture that has kind of really ramped up, in my opinion, the last 3 years here in
Yeah, and that's they're building that third arena over there too, a third rink. So because there's not enough ice time, in Huntsville. So, by them by everything growing the game, and I know Dom wants to really try to build a relationship with the youth hockey over there with the Havoc too. So hopefully it just continues to grow, and I think having that third rink will be huge. So maybe they'll have to build a fourth one down the road here in a few years because hopefully it just keeps growing. And like I said, we started that camp so many years ago, and two of the guys that we get to come help us, Jacob Brown and Jock Hahn, they actually did our camp like way back in the day.
When they were kids?
Yeah, they were kids, and
that's awesome.
I was, we were teaching them and having them at our camp, and now they come out and they help us with it too. We get them to come out, and obviously it's just two of us with 40 kids. You need more coaches to help out, so we get some of the guys that are in their late teens or early 20s now to come out and help us too. So it's awesome seeing those guys too come out and help. So
Did I see Fries around the ice rink? Somewhere?
Yeah, he's living in town this summer there. His girlfriend has a job here in town, so they're living here. But he was just like, he wanted to come out and just hang out with the kids a little bit. So
that's what I thought I saw. That's awesome.
He was there probably maybe 6 out of the 8 days between the 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah. So he was there quite a bit, and I mean, he's almost a kid himself sometimes.
Yeah, he was having a lot of fun.
Yeah, he was having fun.
I could see that for sure.
What were you going to say?
Well, you see these videos on social media. Do you ever have any kids that want to drop the gloves?
It's funny. We try to. In the camp, we try to prevent as much of that as possible, like no hitting, no fighting.
Dom's fighting school.
Yeah, there's definitely some of them that they're like, well, the Havoc guys can do it, and we're like, yeah.
They're also grown men. You're 10.
Have you guys ever had the kids drop the gloves though at a training camp?
I don't think drop the gloves, but there's definitely some checking that goes on. Though sometimes we're gonna pull a kid aside and be like, hey, there's no checking here, so try to calm them down a little bit. But,
that's so funny.
Well, luckily we've had no fights. So,
it's never escalated to that.
Yeah.
Well, if Fries sticks around on the sideline with them, right? Maybe. You never know.
Instigating.
He just yells at them and they stop. So
well, you got a golf tournament coming up too.
Yep. August 31st. We started during COVID there, actually, just kind of something to do, raise a little bit of money for the team actually at the time. But now we've kept that going too. So down in Cherokee Ridge there, we do a golf tournament. So it's usually a pretty fun day too. So again, just another thing, just kind of stay relevant during the summer and kind of get the community out. Some a lot of Havoc fans come out and golf in it too. So we're basically sold out already though. So
I was wondering if there was a cutoff date.
So who's the best golfer on the team last year? Like who's the top golfer?
I don't know.
Or who's the worst? Who do you not want to take golf?
I don't know the worst.
Best, like I know Algie's really good. Gio's really good. it might be those two that are the best.
I was gonna say Algie, but yeah, I don't know.
I think Gio's pretty good too. But yeah, I mean, there's some guys that don't really golf at all. So, but yeah, we always try to do a golf outing every year. We take the guys out to actually down to Cherokee Ridge there, and we do a little team golf outing sometime in March. So
team golf building, I love it.
Yeah, so
Nice.
get out instead of doing a practice one day, we go and go golf, and just have some fun too. So, it's good. We talk about building that team group culture and stuff like that. So yeah, we usually do that. But yeah, there's a few guys that they don't golf very much, so. Dom's actually a funny one to watch golf. So yeah, Gio's actually a really good golfer, and Dom doesn't really golf. So it's always the kind of the big drastic change there. So
that's funny.
Dom was always a good one to watch, or funny to watch golf. So yeah.
The last 2 years, I've said I'm going to do that tournament because it's like not even 5 minutes from my house, and that's like where I used to vote. And I keep saying I'm going to do it. I'm horrible at golfing. Like, it's ridiculous. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't.
I'll go drive the caddies around for everybody.
Oh my God.
That's my extent of golfing. I don't understand how the points are done or any of that, but I know that hockey players love golf, so it's like another.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing. So, okay, well, we're gonna wrap it up. Any thoughts for the next season? You can get us excited. We've got 86 days till puck drop.
Wow.
And no, it is not a countdown on my phone.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No,
86 days. We're under 100.
I mean, yeah, we're just excited to get going again. I know you guys only see 4 signings or something like that, but we're, we got quite a few more. So
that's exciting. Okay.
Yeah. So,
stop recording.
Yeah, we're excited for the team and just, I'm ready to get going here. Obviously, we got a couple more months to. Get out golfing and relax a little bit, but at the same time, like, summer does drag on. So, yeah, kind of excited for the season to get going.
How about you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's obviously, really excited for the season to start. I think it's, it's as it gets closer here, it's, it gets into August, September, and then before you know it, the season's here. So it's obviously, we're excited about the guys that we have signed as well, and we're really excited to see some of the guys that we've been talking to over the summer, watching video on, to see them in person during training camp. So, it's going to be, summer's going to fly by here, but at the same time, really, really excited to get the season going.
That guy's got on a Havoc shirt. Random guy.
Love it.
You feel like training camp gives you a good, vision of how the chemistry is going to work for them. The guys that are fighting for a spot versus, they're all fighting for a spot, but the veterans. You feel like that's giving you a good vision of how the chemistry is going to go?
Yeah, a lot of times guys come in the week before, so you get to see a lot of that, hopefully team building and bonding, early on. But then, as soon as you hit the ice, that's a good indicator on what kind of team you're going to have. Are they going to be super competitive and have a really good work ethic? How's your skill level? So again, you get to see that in the first 3 or 4 days, and then you jump into that exhibition game, which is always a good early test and kind of see where guys are at too. So it's it's always an exciting time of the year. I think I always say training camp I think is the second best time of the year, and then playoffs is the the best time of the year. You get most excited and most fired up for. So
nice.
I feel like the schedule I see is the last 2 years, the spring is just the worst to me because it's 1 weekend at the beginning of January, and then they're not back until the end of February and then the end of March.
Yeah.
And then everything else is away games.
Yeah.
But from what I can see, it looks like it's pretty little bit more evened out.
Yeah, I think our full schedule this year is a lot more spread out. Well, there's a lot of weekends where we play. We'll play one game at home, one game on the road, one game at home or on the road at home. So a little more spread out this year.
Good.
And we're not playing maybe Pensacola every single week in 1 month. So. But that's a running joke between me and Catherine that we play them all the time. Okay, well, we appreciate you guys stopping by and chatting with us, giving us some insight on what you guys have been up to, all that fun stuff. We appreciate it, but we also know all the fans really appreciate it because, I don't know, we're all excited about hockey season starting back up. And, I saw someone the other day begging, there was a girl in the fan cave, she was begging for one more signing. And got 600 likes, right? So we figured out how to get those people to like it. So there's definitely a culture that's waiting for you guys to get back on the ice. Tim, you got anything fun just before we close?
Well, I will say congratulations to Karen Rass. She's our fan of the week this week and wins one of those Dostal
How much
Gift
are those
cards.
gift cards for?
$40.
That can get you a lot here.
Yeah. One of these wonderful pizzas.
This basket of fries is $4, and that's
pizzas are great.
I unintentionally got just a basket of fries, and then I was like, all I got was fries.
Connor fries, I love it. Have you guys had the coach's pie yet here? The pizza that he makes? There's a coach's one. It makes me wonder, like, what is like a pizza topping that you guys hate on a pizza? What do you not want on your pizza?
Mushrooms.
Yeah, same.
Okay. You're an Italian guy. I would think you would like mushrooms.
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you feel about pineapple on pizza?
I don't, like, if it's there, I'll eat it, but I'm not going to order it.
Yeah, I'm indifferent.
Very
with it.
controversial. I love pineapple on
Pineapple's
pizza.
the best.
Oh my God.
You got anything?
Nope.
Nothing fun?
Nope.
Okay.
We've rambled enough to these guys.
We've had a great time. We appreciate you guys coming, taking some time out to chat with us. Havoc fans, we are super excited that we only have 86 days left. And so we're looking forward to some more signings that are going to pop up and all that fun stuff, and looking forward to training camp and seeing who makes it and who doesn't. So, till next time, we'll talk to you later. Stay sharp in the slot. Keep reeking of Huntsville Havoc hockey, and we'll chat with you then.
For tickets, official Huntsville Havoc merchandise, and more, go to huntsvillehavoc.com. Visit our website at reekinhavoc.com. Look for us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Threads. And listen, follow, and subscribe to the Reekin Havoc podcast on your favorite platform to keep up with the only weekly podcast covering the Huntsville Havoc, the Reekin Havoc podcast.
The Reekin Havoc podcast.